to get on here. Wanted to do a little chatting today. Have a little talk. There's a certain individual shot a certain person over in New York City. It's got some people questioning some things. Just kind of, making people try to push back on suppressors. One, they're a safety device. They are not as effective as you think they are. They're more just protect the shooter. Their hearing, those kinds of things. But also, we have some very pro 2A people coming around to hopefully they can get some things accomplished. I'm going to start here with the NFA. So we go back to the 1930s. Prohibition was in full swing. We're in the midst of the Great Reset, otherwise known as the Great Depression. FDR was widely expanding the government. And part of this was the NFA, which regulates the sale of machine guns, short barrel shotguns, short barrel rifles, and suppressors. So originally, they were trying to include handguns in on it, and also any semi-automatic or automatic rifle that could hold more than 12 rounds. Some people did have common sense, though, and kind of got that struck down, that portion of it. Just the handgun portion struck down before it made its pass through. The government back then, as it is now, was using the media. A false sense of urgency to restrict weapons was caused by a media frenzy of the actions of the Barrow Gang and the Dillinger Gang, who were already being hunted with orders to shoot on sight. This law would make no difference to criminals. Dillinger stole his Thompson machine guns from the police station. Barrow, they stole their BARs, from the National Guard Armory. But since those gangs and items were in the papers, they had to be banned. They had to do something about it. Suppressors were put on this, and you have people out there saying, some people yelling suppressor, suppressor, some people yelling silencer, silencer. They are the same thing. T-Rex Arms did a video. Very first thing he started off with was the fact that the very first patent for one of these, it was called a silencer in that patent. It does not silence. It does reduce noise, reduce flash, but it is a safety item. But suppressors were added to this bill. The alleged reason why, I kind of think it was, makes sense to me, were added to this as a way to combat poaching, since we were in the Great Reset. The 1920s, 1930s. People couldn't afford to feed their families. They somehow happened across a suppressor and made hunting a little easier to hide. It's just one of them things, it's a tax to hunt, it's a tax to do, it's just a tax to do anything you want to do. And it doesn't make any sense. So, we go into the point where they had to go and add this tax. The gun ban absolutely was unconstitutional, and they knew that. But a tax was not. And this was time for added taxes. They had just recently instated income taxes in the years prior. The $200 tax was instated, along with extensive background checks, fingerprints, and photos. But $200, we don't think that's that much today. 1935, the price of a Tommy gun was also $200. Normal rifles and shotguns can be purchased around $20 to $30. So a person trying to buy a short barreled rifle or a shotgun effectively had a 1,000% tax on those tools that they needed for hunting. You binomically adjust for inflation at 200 that they set it at was actually 4,500. This was another attempt to tax people under regulation. But in the end, what did they get Al Capone for anyway? It wasn't murder. It was tax evasion. So, I don't know if any of you guys have actually read the 16th Amendment. It's, when I read it the first time, I thought, wow, they left themselves a lot of room to do whatever they want. But it's the one that has to do with taxing. So, I'm going to zoom in a little bit bigger so I can actually read this. There it is. So, 61st Congress of the United States of America, at the first session, begun and held at the city of Washington on Monday, the 15th day of March, 1909. Proposing an amendment to the Constitution of the United States. This was a joint resolution. Resolved by the Senate and the House of Republicans of the United States of America and Congress assembled 2/3 of each house occurring therein, that the following article is proposed as an amendment to the Constitution, which, when ratified by the legislatures of the 3/4 of several states, shall be valid to all intents and purposes as part of the Constitution. Article 16. The Congress shall have power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source derived, without appointment among the several states, and without regard to any census or enumeration. That right there is the whole reason we revolted against Britain. It was the whole entire reason we revolted against Britain. Is they could tax. So Congress shall have the power to lay and collect taxes on incomes from whatever source they desire, without appointment. That's without representation among the several states, and without regard to any census or enumeration. So they don't care how many people, they don't care where these people are, they don't care anything about you, as long as you pay your bill. That's another thing that the NFA was. That's another thing that's going on right now. At this time, the country had just switched from tariffs as its full income to taxing the people themselves. Tariffs on goods coming in, everybody was taxed equally because the price went up for everyone, if it made it to the consumer at all. It's kind of sobering to think, just to sit back and just think about this, Sorry, I've not been feeling great today, but I still had to get on here and wanted to do this. They literally, when they've had the bill up in front of Congress, didn't even mention suppressors until they got to the point of stating that they were going to ban it. Nobody argued it. Nobody did anything until the point where they said, hey, by the way, suppressors are included in this. This is why I hope, really, really hope that this next group that comes in, and Brandon Herrera, seriously hope they bring him in. Dismantle the ATF, dismantle the NFA. Because it shouldn't be something that's sliding a $20 piece of plastic on the back of your pistol makes you a felon because you didn't pay your tax to be able to do so. It doesn't make any sense at all. But we're here. This is where we are. I'll hang around for a minute here, see if anybody shows up. It's kind of late. It's going on 11 o'clock. I got some ammo. I was going to move some ammo cans while I was doing this. I've been sitting on my desk for a couple weeks now. But haven't had time to do it. I'm wanting to do it. I want to talk to you guys. Haven't done that for a little bit either. I think it's a little late. Me and the boys just got done recording our podcast. That can's heavy now. But anybody knows where you can get 7.62 by 39, and you don't have to pay a crap ton of shipping and service fees. That'd be wonderful. I'm paying, I think it's $13.50 a box. That's still cheaper than when I go online and I can find it for $8 a box online. Find it for $8 a box online, but it's $8 a box shipping, basically, what it comes out to. By the time I'm done, by the time they add all their fees, add all their taxes. Again, taxes on freedom seeds. I know these are Russian freedom seeds, but freedom seeds nonetheless are taxed way too far. Have I shot these before? I don't remember. Oh, these are constantly right there. That's what it's all about. Freedom seeds. The old freedom seeds.